Hello, good morning. Welcome to JoyNews. Let's go coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free. So we're coming up this morning. End-stage kidney failure patients say more of their members are getting admitted for emergency care after the renal dialysis unit of the Korle Teaching Hospital shuts its doors to outpatients over a 4 million cedi debt. We'll bring you details shortly. Later on your election headquarters, Vice President Dr. Bawumia receives endorsement from the party's Council of Elders for his dedication to the party as a countdown to who leads the NPP in the 2024 elections draws nearer. We have details shortly as Dr. Bawumia says he knows the road to winning an election for the NPP. Plus, chiefs and people of Janga community threatening to boycott political activities in the lead-up to the 2024 elections if government fails to complete the 25.7-kilometer road project, which connects the town to the municipal capital. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Please settle for the details. The search for who leads the NPP is gradually coming to an end, with 2 days for the over 200,000 delegates across the country to make their final decision. The NPP is in a desperate search for a candidate with a political clout to attract voters in breaking its much anticipated 8 in 2024. Today at your election headquarters, our attention is on that one candidate that has been described by delegates and party bigwigs as formidable and capable of leading the party to victory. Samuel Mbura has more.
He defended his party at the time the country was sitting on political tenterhooks following a lawsuit after the 2012 general elections. He displayed intelligence, grit and honesty before the Superior Court of Justice.
That's what you're doing. There is an error, but there is no dishonesty. If you want to be honest with the court, let us put down my analysis. If you are not afraid of the truth, let us put down my analysis and show me one repeated polling station in my analysis. If you are afraid of the truth, then of course you will hide behind these exhibit 9.
President Akufo-Addo recognized in him a dedicated and principled individual, embedding his name among the honest and intelligent men in Ghana's political history. It's for these reasons that he selected him against all odds as his running mate and subsequently the Vice President of the Republic. Former Mayor of the Greater Accra and current member of the Council of States, Ejiri Stanley Blankson, strongly corroborates the attributes attributed to Dr. Bawumia by the President. Is willing to go to greater lengths to defend Dr. Bawumia's integrity.
I have worked with him for a while, and I can tell you, if there is a guilty, and I said, look, the people called me that I should put my neck there, I would tell them that if it is for Bawumia, I will do it.
According to him, Dr. Bawumia has the endorsements of the Council of Elders of the NPP to lead the party.
I can say this without fear, that about 92% of my colleagues at the Council of State are supporting Bawumia.
A prominent figure in Ghanaian politics, Ama Bami Buzia, sister to former Prime Minister Dr. K. Buzia, and a Council of Elders member, also sees in Dr. Bawumia the qualities of a true leader.
Not because he calls me mommy, that flatters me, but all the qualities, because of my brother, I have a little bit of experience in politics, and all the qualities I look in a politician for, to me, he has it.
She is so committed to his cause that not even a wheelchair could prevent her from casting her vote in his favor.
They said, when they saw me because of my problem, they said, oh, we thought we were going to do proxy vote. I said, no, I want to make sure that I put my own thumb on his face. I'll go. I know he's going to win. Maybe between 85 to 90%. I know he's going to win.
Dr. Bawumia is the son of a prominent northern Ghanaian politician, Bawumia, who played a significant role in the formation of the New Patriotic Party. Samir Wuku, campaign coordinator for Dr. Bawumia, hopes that the tireless effort by the father of Dr. Bawumia and himself to the party will be rewarded by the delegates.
In the next few hours, we should be electing the leader of our party and a potential president of our country. And I think that the spirit of the NPP, may the spirit of our forefathers also be kind to him.
No account of Dr. Bawumia's political journey is complete without acknowledging the support of his wife, Second Lady Samira Bawumia. She has at any given opportunity defended her husband while extolling his qualities that make him the ideal leader for the NPP.
Are we ready for an honest leader? Are we ready for a humble leader? Are we ready for a hard-working leader? Are we ready for a leader who will unify us and not divide us? Are we ready for a leader who will take us to victory, inshallah? Jawam, are we ready for 4th November? Are we ready for 4th November?
Dr. Bawumia's candidacy has garnered widespread endorsements across the country, with regional chairpersons leading the charge, promising a resounding victory for him. The Northern NPP caucus has also thrown its weight behind him. Dr. Bawumia passionately asserts that electing him to lead the NPP in the 2024 general election will be no mistake, for he brings invaluable experience to the table.
I've been to every constituency, slept in many constituencies, and I know the ground. So, as they say, follow who know road. Follow who know road. I know the road. And not only do I have the experience, I have the winning experience. We need somebody who knows how to win an election.
The political history of the NPP hinges on the Dankwa-Buzia-Dombo tradition. The Dankwa and Buzia faction have already been represented by Nana Akufo-Addo and former President John Kufuor. Could it now be the Dombo's turn with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? The ultimate decision rests with delegates at the NPP Congress. Samuel Mbora, JoyNews.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration says no diplomatic mission of the Republic of Ghana has been attached to defray the cost of a judgment debt. The reaction comes in the wake of reports that petroleum multinational firm Trafigura is moving to seize and auction some properties belonging to Ghana in the United Kingdom. The Ghana International Bank building and other properties are at risk of being sold to defray a $140 million judgment debt awarded to Trafigura. However, speaking in a yet-to-be-aired interview on Foreign Affairs, Ghana's ambassador at large and special advisor to the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Kwabno Seydakwa, says the issue will be resolved.
This issue of a judgment debt, my understanding, and I think our High Commissioner in London spoke about it, no diplomatic property is at risk or is being attached. There is a property belonging to probably a state entity or the state, which may be at risk, but even that is being addressed. So,
so what you mean to say is you hide under the Vienna Conventions and simply protect
we're not
assets?
hiding under anything. I'm just saying
that's what you intend to do, clearly.
No. There has been no, and I'm just quoting the High Commissioner because he is there.
Yes.
And I'm saying there has been no indication at all that our diplomatic properties in the UK are at risk. There is a building that is in contention, but even that is being addressed by the state.
How is it being addressed? Are we working to secure it or to make payments so that the assets are not frozen? But these assets belong to the Republic of Ghana, isn't it?
Yes, but this is an issue for the Attorney General and the Minister for Justice, because as you can tell, this is a dispute between the state and a private entity. So, and what I know is that assurances have been given that it will be dealt with. How we would resolve it successfully, I cannot tell you, but we're confident that it will be resolved.
Have you reached out to Trafigura to say, well, we acknowledge the judgment, except to say that you'd have to wait while the payment is made? Have you reached out to the company, the firm involved?
Well, we do not deal with, it's a legal matter, so the Attorney General's Department would be the best to say, but what I know is that we expect a successful resolution which will not involve the seizure of property and so on.
In the event that that happens and that the judgment would have to be enforced, what alternative plans do you have as the ministry to relocate all those working in the mission?
No, but again, I keep saying, there's nothing, and I'm quoting the High Commissioner, there's no fear that our diplomatic property is at risk. So, I wouldn't speculate on that. What I know is that the state is determined to resolve the issue without any seizures.
Meanwhile, Ghana's reciprocal visa waiver agreement has finally set into motion. Per the Memorandum of Understanding between Ghana and South Africans, nationals from both countries have the opportunity to travel to each other's country for up to 90 days within a year. Touching on the latest framework, Ambassador Kwabno Said Dankwa says it is in respect of fulfilling Ghana's commitment to the African Union's protocol on the free movement of people.
It would work because, both states, both governments are invested in it. This is something that has been worked on for some time, and there's enthusiasm for it. I tell you, one of the reasons why it was possible, apart from the fact that we maintain the highest possible relationship with South Africa, is that, and from what I hear, in South Africa, for instance, the reason why other African countries do not have this facility, and we do, is that there is a perception of Ghanaians which is positive. Whether it's our business people, whether it's our professionals, whether it's our citizens going there, the way they have conducted themselves has been very helpful. Now, don't forget, and I know that the president of Kenya announced yesterday that by the end of this year they're going to do
December.
Yes. Look, the African Union has a free movement protocol, which so far has been signed by 33 countries. Only 4 countries have ratified it, and it requires 15 ratifications to come into force. The reason why the African Union came up with the protocol is that it is, if we want to promote intra-African trade, promote trade and investments among us and so on, you need free movement of people. So what Ghana and South Africa have done in this case is a huge step. obviously, we're looking forward to the day when within Africa, people can move, across. So we have problems, and then we have citizens who also do not respect the laws of the other countries and so on. So if you have a bad reputation, countries don't want to give you.
Okay, so what's the end game for us? Are we also going the way of Kenya, as Kenya has announced by end of December? Everyone from African countries will now be able to come into their country. Is that what we are also seeking to do, or we're just doing this because of the special relations that we have existing between South Africa and the Republic of Ghana?
Well, I mean, it's because of our special relations, and we actually have in process visa-free regimes with many other countries, both on the continent and outside the continent. So the ministry will continue to pursue those. And Ghana has signed that free movement protocol. So, but as to how quickly we will get there, I cannot say.
The opening of the Lagoon floodgates and the sandbar at Azizaji has commenced to allow free flow of the lagoon into the sea, mitigating the devastating flooding effect in the 3 municipalities of Keta, Angloga, and Ketu South. Checks by JoyNews reveals the process, which began a week ago, has been successful in making it possible for the flood waters in the 3 municipalities and even in the 3 North Tongue districts to recede considerably. Ivy Setoji and her team returned to Azizaji in the Keta municipality and has filed this report.
As you can see, we are in Azizaji here in the Keta municipality. I am sitting right here on the bridge. Yes, I'm kind of scared though, but then a journalist has to do what he has to do sometimes. This is the opening of the floodgate here in Azizaji to enable the water or the lagoon to flow easily to the sea. Now, the sandbar over there has been successfully breached some few days ago. It is a spectacular sight. A lot of people come here since it started just to see the view, to see how beautiful it is. With this opening of the floodgates, it's also making it easy for the waters in the 3 Tongue districts and some other districts that experienced the flooding due to the coastal dam spillage to recede. So waters in those areas are receding as we speak due to the opening of this floodgate. Now, some people in this area were not happy about the issue. Some went on demonstration. Some agitated that they were not so happy about it because of the past experience. Some 30-something years ago, where a lot of people were drowned due to this particular issue. It happened before, where the floodgates were open and some people were drowned. Some fisher folk, market men and women were drowned here. So they are not ready for that experience. They don't want to experience that again. So they were agitated. But the question here is, are they now satisfied? People are so interested in this issue. We've been speaking with the MC for Keta, Emmanuel Gemega.
Oh, now everything is calm. We can see that we are achieving our purpose for opening the floodgates as well as cutting a sandbar between the sea and the lagoon. We can see that there's a rush of the lagoon water from into the sea, and I'm a happy man as we speak now. We have received reports from various communities that surround the lagoon, and the way the water levels are coming down from their homes, from their bedrooms. It is a good story to me.
So residents are hoping that what happened in the past will not be repeated or will not happen here this time around, and that after everything, situation will be different and everything will just be perfect.
This was not the first time the lagoon posed a problem to the littoral settlements and the islands in the lagoon. In 1875, you have the Maya floods. Maya was then the district commissioner. So the whole area was flooded, and there was a need for the canal to be cut. Then after that, in 1910, there was another flood called Tenge flood. Because at that time, Tobi Tenge was the king in Anyako. And people believe he performed some rituals for the floods to come. Then after that, you have the Aflamshi. Aflamshi was a fetish priestess. She also performed, that was 7 years after the 1910, that was 1917. Before the almighty Ayi1 came in 1963. So all those floods and the cutting of the lagoon, which resulted, were not based on scientific research. And I also saw the building of this bridge on which I'm sitting here now. And the reason for the building of this one is, one, to regulate the flow of the lagoon water into the sea, and also to be opened when we have floods which are affecting the people. So it has a purpose. And there were drawings on how the sandbars should be breached to allow the lagoon water to enter the sea. So it was not done haphazardly as was in 1963. What happened in 1963 was no joke, because before 1963, Kaji Township was very large, and there were fishermen, even Blekusu. But when the canal was cut, without any constraint to prevent its expansion, and all those buildings were destroyed, people lost their lives. Because 1965, 35 people who came to Kata Market were returned to Chama, and they all got drowned and they died.
I came to see when it was about just 10 inches to the level. I called my man, but he didn't respond. I came here this one about 30 minutes ago. I'm very much impressed that the water is going straight. Nobody can go inside now. So I have to thank our DC for forcing the community to allow this gate to be open.
For me, I'm a little bit happy and a little bit afraid. This is because since the day one of this, I've been with the engineers doing all this, and I've noticed how things are moving on here, I may say. But my fear now is the expansion of the gate, not the bridge, but the mouth of the sea. How it's going. At first, we just started with something like 8 feet, but now you can see it's more than dual carriage.
We are here this afternoon to erect caution tape here to prevent our members from going near the scene. Because when we are here in the morning, we have observed that the sandbar is curving in. So as people are going to the edge of the sandbar, they can fall into it at any given time, and it will be a problem for the assembly and for our community.
So far, the place we have opened the channel has kept its location. It has not moved yet. So it is expected that our channel will be moving gradually towards the next village is Hovi. But then the land on which we have cut that place now is uninhabited. Formerly, at the time that Ayi did that, there were villages there like Soku and Tagbokofe. They were there. But now that whole place is uninhabited. So we have about 600 meters of room to play with. But as I'm talking now, the channel has not moved. Where we cut it is where it is standing. And the greater the flow, the more stable the channel.
So yes, we at JoyNews, we are watching keenly. We'll give you every detailed report as we started 2 weeks ago. We'll give you more reports as it progresses. And from Azizaji, my name is Ivy Setodi for JoyNews.
Meanwhile, the District Chief Executive Officer of the North Tongue District, Divine Osborne Fenu, says data collection on the flood victims is currently underway to create a credible database to allow for government's compensation and resettlement. According to him, the data collection exercise, which is being carried out in conjunction with other stakeholders, including the traditional authorities, is aimed at ensuring that persons who have not been directly affected by the flood do not take undue advantage.
The interministerial committee set up by the president, they have requested for data, especially for now on buildings that have some defects to be corrected immediately for people to move back to their houses. And then we are also taking data on houses that have been destroyed, people who have their crops destroyed and all those. So we have begun collecting the data with the physical planning department and the works department through the assembly members and the traditional authority, so that we can identify those people as quickly as possible. We also want to ensure that people don't abuse the system. People may not lose anything, but they may want to write there. So we'll have a way of visiting most of the communities ourselves to ensure that the correct data is provided for government to deal with the issues.
The DC of the area says plans are underway to relocate flood victims from school structures to pave way for academic exercise to commence in schools that are serving as safe havens for the flood victims in the district.
We are making arrangements for the people to move from those places so that our students can go back to the classroom. That is also an issue we'll be discussing today, because when the education minister came, they assured us of helping us. The First Sky Group ambassador, the construction ambassadors, have also started working on some camps for us. I believe that by close of next week, that camp will also be ready. Then we can move a number of people, affected people who are living in the classrooms to move in there. So the classrooms will be available for learning. Some other group are coming to feed some tents, about 250 tents for one particular school, so that the people can move away from the classrooms. And then I'm sure those people will come today. And so there are, when we meet today, other issues that will come up, other suggestions that will come up, we'll use them and then help the process. So it's a bigger issue because tomorrow, understand that the senior high school schools will also reopen, and St. Kizito is hosting well over 1,003 affected people, and so we need to move the people from there to allow the students to also go back. So we'll take up that issue today also to see how best we can address it before tomorrow.
The dying wish of late 15-year-old Priscilla Sante was for renal dialysis treatment to be easily accessible to persons with end-stage kidney failure. But almost a month after she passed, the very challenges that pushed her to her early grave is leading more with similar conditions to their death. Today marks 5 months, 12 days since the renal dialysis unit of Kolebu Teaching Hospital closed its doors to outpatients as a result of a 4 million cedi debt. Before we hear from President of the Renal Patients Association on its impact on their members, here's how Richard Kwejonyako captured Priscilla's last moments.
The humming sound of medical equipment here at the renal units of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital welcoming patients. It's a Tuesday morning, and 15-year-old Priscilla Santi is being wheeled into the renal unit here.
The doctors told me I have to be on the machine, and I have to be on that machine either twice or thrice a week.
For now, she has to travel nearly 100 kilometers from Chifu Mampong with her mother to the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital every Tuesday and Thursday to have her dialysis session.
My mom and dad do not have money either. We have become miserable. I am appealing to the government to help me live through this. Otherwise, I may die.
Priscilla, a junior high school pupil, now carries a weight much heavier than her school bag. Her daily battle now is not with textbooks and homework, but with the relentless adversary, renal failure.
I want the government to support me so I can live to fulfill my dream of becoming a nurse.
The burden of her illness has not only taken a toll on her fragile body, but has shattered her world due to the family's precarious financial situation.
They said that could be 3.5.
They say every section is 350 cedis. And this in addition to getting blood and other medication.
Priscilla's mother, Ruth Ofori, has been a pillar of strength for her daughter and is determined to ensure her only daughter lives. With teary eyes, she shares the story of her family's headache, struggling to cope with the emotional and financial strain that comes with caring for her only daughter battling renal failure.
From the doctors, if I keep on missing this section, I may lose my daughter. And I need the help of the government.
Her voice quivers as she recounts the sleepless nights and endless hospital visits, each one a reminder of their uphill climb. But Priscilla is not alone in this fight. Thomas Vincent Khan has lived with kidney diseases for a decade.
The people who came and could not survive just a week or even a month. So for me to survive it all these 10 years, it's really been a tough one.
For Thomas, the thought of heading to the dialysis machine is not just physically draining, it's also a haunting financial specter. The towering cost of dialysis looms over him like a relentless shadow, casting doubt and despair. Thomas speaks of the silent tragedy he has witnessed over the years, a grim parade of 100 busloads of people who have lost their lives to kidney failure because they lack the financial means to access dialysis treatments.
Most of the time, it's not easy always chasing people or asking people for help because it is very difficult to sustain. For instance, if somebody gives you 1,000 to help you, you can't go to the person every day or every now and then to ask for the same help. And this is a disease that you always have to be coming to the hospital. Without that funding, you can't come for dialysis. And here is a case that it is a pay as you go. So it means that if you don't have money, you can't come for dialysis. And like I mentioned, there are people who have died because they cannot have the money to come for dialysis. And to tell you the truth, there are lots of the people we have lost, not because of the disease, but just the thought of finding money to come to the hospital. That alone has killed them. If there was any support for them, if they had the money, I'm sure they would have been here by now, and then perhaps be coming to dialysis just to sustain or manage the situation. But unfortunately, because there is no money to support them, we have lost all of them.
Each one, a story of unfulfilled dreams and shattered hopes, adds to the weight of despair that Thomas carries.
We wish that we'll have a strong funding to support our clients. Those who are the vulnerable ones, some are unable to pay even for a session of dialysis.
Kwesi Brown has worked in the renal unit of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital for 20 years. Over the period, he's seen many families come to him, instructing him to take their relatives from the machine to go home and die, a situation that breaks his heart.
You won't believe it. There are some who even come in, and they come in, tell you that now we don't have money to come anymore, and so please take off the catheter for us to go home. Because they can't, they just don't know how to get the nurse, the idea is to go home and die. The idea is to go home and die. You understand? It's sad, but if we have a fund in place, then from that fund we can support. Sometimes people, transportation from their places to this place itself is also a challenge, in itself. Once the transport fares are going up, it becomes problematic for them.
It's a story of Priscilla, Thomas, and countless others here who bear the heavy burden of kidney diseases. It's a stark reminder that the battle against renal failure is not only fought in hospitals and clinics, but in the hearts and homes of individuals and families who continue to grapple with its physical, emotional, and financial toll. Richard Kwejo for Joy News.
Well, President of the Renal Patients Association, Bafo Kojahenkra, tells Joy News the condition of many of their members are getting worse and are being admitted for emergency care.
And then most of the OPD guys are now going on admission.
Which means that their situation is getting worse because of lack of access.
Yes, worse and worse. Just last week, I had 2 of my people going on admission. They just discharged one just yesterday. There's another one there. There's another lady 2 there. So because we are not having the regular dialysis and we don't get the proper dialysis too, because most of the private, some of them, there's question about it. So now we are all falling sick and we are going back for emergencies.
Meanwhile, President of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Perpetual Furiampofo, says it is unacceptable to keep the renal unit closed for many months over a 4 million cedi debt.
It's a matter of agency. That money should be paid in terms of the debt that Kolebu owes. It should be paid. And the monthly cost of having to provide the services to these patients at that reduced amount or cost should be done so that they can actually have the services they require to live. This is a matter of life and death. And even as we speak, somebody's condition may be worsening. Somebody may have lost their lives just because the facility is not open and they are not getting the services that they require.
Away from renal dialysis, the chiefs and people of Janga and the West Mamprusi municipality of the Northeast region have threatened to boycott all political activities ahead of the 2024 elections if government fails to complete the Nasia Janga road that connects the town to the municipal capital. The paramount chief of the area, Sonaba Nangtoma Seidu, and his elders are therefore calling on the president to redeem the promise he made to them during the sword-cutting ceremony for the commencement of the 25.7-kilometer road project.
The 25.7 Janga-Nasia Road project in the West Mamprusi municipality was ongoing until the change of government in 2016. The project was swiftly abrogated and re-awarded by the Akufo-Addo administration. In 2018, the president himself came to cut salt for the recommencement of work by the new contractor. At a deba in Nasia attended by the chiefs and people of the area, President Akufo-Addo promised them the road project will be completed before the 2020 elections.
So how long are they going to take?
24 months.
From now?
From now. So by 2020, around this time, the work should be completed.
6 years down the lane, the contractor has abandoned the project due to non-payment. Surprisingly, however, the contractor was made to tie a 6-kilometer stretch of the road from Nasia to Nakbayili village and another 1 kilometer to the Janga town, leaving out a large stretch of 18.7 kilometers of the road in a very deplorable state. The residents say they see it as an attempt to conceal the failure to fix the road. Some commercial drivers express the challenges they face doing business on the road.
We are facing a lot of suffering on the road.
The rains have created a large potholes which are causing our vehicles to break down and hinder the movement of goods and services. We are worried because the contractor has abandoned the project.
Last time I mobile quota no janga nasha edba na paya no mo sabe fa janga esa be dru your country your krutia ha a mo koye de o mo nsamba die.
The contractor is doing shoddy work. There's a stretch of the road that gets flooded anytime it rains. During this period, we are unable to use the road. From Nasia here to Janga is not far, but because the road is in bad condition, we suffer a lot. It is difficult to transport patients to Janga for treatment. It is time to pay attention to our road, but no one seems to be listening to our cries. They always come to deceive us. The project, upon completion, would have opened up and improved access to essential public services and increased livelihood opportunities in several communities in the Janga zone. Residents of communities along the road have complained that the poor state of the road is affecting their socio-economic activities, whilst others bemoan the negative impact of the bad nature of the road on their farming and trading activities. The paramount chief of the area, Sona Baseidu Nantogma, is displeased about the deplorable state of the road.
Now it's getting worse. The road, even say what they call us a meeting at the road. Before you get to Nasia, you spend about so many hours on the road. You can go. Our market cars, some of them are having an accident on the way. Most of the cars have got an accident because of the road potholes.
The chief also described as shameful the failure of the president to fulfill his promise to ensure the completion of the road by 2020.
The president himself came and cut the short. He doesn't send any minister. He didn't send vice president. He didn't send the MP. He himself. So if the road isn't complete, it's a shame to him. Because the president of the whole country come and cut a short for some place to do. And it doesn't work. It's a shame. And here is their strong place that they used to help them to win the Walwali seat. So all the boys are telling me they will deny. This year they will deny it.
Paramount chief also took aim at politicians in the region over the uncompleted road projects.
Now if anything happen here and they follow the MP to come, then here you before you get to MP's father's village, it's behind here. When they follow you and come and see the road, it's a shame, you know. So that's it. So I'm always talking to them to come and then do the right thing. If they do the right thing, it's all of us good name. But if they don't do the right thing, all of us is a shame.
The project was estimated to cost 6 million Ghana cedis and included the construction of several roads in the Nasia township. The township roads, however, have also been abandoned, causing severe challenges to the residents. The open culverts and drainages are causing a lot of injuries to people. We are unable to come out of our houses anytime it rains. Mosquitoes are killing us. Go to the hospital and see the number of people suffering from malaria. So we are pleading with them to fix the road for us. Elias Sutanko reporting for JoyNews.
We're still live on JoyNews. That's great coming to you from our studios in Kokomlimi. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you business.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Ghana is poised to make approximately 24 million tons of carbon credits available for transactions on the compliance market by 2030. This will be used to support green businesses and initiatives that aim to promote sustainable living. Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. John Kumar, made the disclosure at the opening of a 3-day meeting of experts. Here's more.
The three-day conference by the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa will deliberate on structural food and energy challenges on the continent and explore opportunities for value chains to accelerate the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. According to Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. John Kuma, this contribution of about 24 million tons carbon credit transaction underscores the government's dedication to reducing carbon emissions and mitigating the impact of climate change.
As part of our updated nationally determined contribution, Ghana is poised to have approximately 24 million of carbon credits available for transactions on the compliance market by 2030. This underscores our dedication to reducing carbon emissions and mitigating the impacts of climate change. We believe that green business and green jobs not only benefit our environment, but also offer enhanced financial and social returns compared to traditional business as usual investments. Indeed, as a continent, we must recognize that the challenges we face today require adaptable and forward-thinking approaches.
Speaking to Joy Business, Country Director for the United Nations, Charles Abani, applauded Ghana's leading role in ensuring adequate resources to support the SDGs.
And I think Ghana has played a leading role in pushing for the reforms necessary to the global financial system. We've also seen Ghana successfully negotiate an IMF package that has brought some resources, and the tale of the tape so far is that Ghana is making progress towards meeting those terms and conditions in order to enable stability to return. But African countries really cannot make progress unless they have fiscal space to address these issues. As I said, 3.3 billion people across the globe live in countries where they finance more debt than they actually spend on health, education, and basic services. And this ratio has to change.
The meeting is under the theme Investing in Energy Transition, Food Security and Regional Value Chains for Sustainable Development in North and West Africa.
Now, a Swedish medical advisory service, Manje Health, is collaborating with SIC Insurance to help Ghanaians in the diaspora provide health insurance for their family back home. According to Chief Executive Officer Prudence Mafuta-Person, Ghana is ranked second biggest diasporan market in sub-Saharan Africa, reason it is expanding into the country.
According to a 2021 survey conducted by the UN Development Programme, around 70% of Ghanaians do not have access to any kind of insurance. More worrying, many of the products available in the market do not respond to the needs of the population. Even so, the sector's value grew tenfold between 2011 and 2021. The digitalization of services should also help to expand the industry's consumer base. It is for this reason a digital Swedish medical platform has expanded into Ghana. The company, Manje Health, will help Ghanaians in the diaspora fund the health insurance of relatives. Prudence Mafuta-Person is Chief Executive Officer of Manje Health.
Ghana is ranked among the top 10 diaspora markets in Africa. It's ranked number 4 in Africa and number 2 in sub-Saharan Africa. The market size is 4 million Ghanaians living in the diaspora. Their remittance volume, annual remittance volume, is over $3 billion. This is money that Ghanaians living abroad send back home to their family members to support them. That is the size of the market. So it's a very big market, and it's a lot of money that is involved. Many times the problem is, you send money, someone has to pick it out as cash, and then they go and pay at a hospital if it's for medical needs. With our platform, we will not only help the Ghanaian diaspora to connect with the top hospitals in Ghana, we will also secure their transaction by helping them to make payments directly into the healthcare system.
Manje Health is partnering with SIC Insurance Company to implement the project. Managing Director of SIC Insurance Company, Kweku Apia Minka II, expressed optimism about the impact of the collaboration on policyholders.
Is very excited to be part of this partnership. Manji has provided a platform for healthcare solution in Africa, and we are providing the health insurance or life insurance component of that solution. And it's a very exciting time for us because 3 million Ghanaians live outside Ghana in the diaspora, who bring in about $3 billion of money into the economy, and this is what we are targeting. And SIS Life is very pleased to play a critical role in that whole system. And by so doing, we are expanding the boundaries of financial inclusion and social inclusion, and it's a very important thing for us to do for the nation.
Ghana is well positioned to develop its insurance sector, provided the right investments are made.
That's it for business. The news continues after the break.
And as I wrap up JoyNews Desk this morning, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 12.